Hi, I'm Ian Hutchinson from Life by Design, and welcome back to the next lesson in your Kickstart program. So far, we've gone through a lot of different tools and exercises. We've looked at your vision diagnostic tool, helping you benchmark where you are at the moment. In lesson number 1, we looked at 10 key quick strategy ideas that'll help you get more clarity of purpose and feel more in control of your life and your work. We've looked at, in lesson number 2, the attitude of gratitude, how to cultivate some more positive psychology in your life. Lesson number 3, we looked at how do you spend your current time. We looked at your 168-hour time budget. How do you spend that? Isn't that in line with where you want to be heading with the rest of your life? And what are some simple ideas that you could do that would improve that even more? In this particular lesson, I want to look at some real foundation stones. I want to look at the 3 key foundations to what I call success and happiness. And if you can get clear about what these 3 pillars are, what these 3 aspects of what I call self-leadership are, so you can take more responsibility, more control of your life, your work and your personal finances, then you can put yourself back in the driver's seat of your own life. You can have more clarity of purpose moving forward. Now, to do that, I'm going to do something a bit different today. What I'm going to do is show you an extract or to video from one of my programs, one of my Life by Design Foundation programs, where I cover off this topic of the 3 key foundations of success and happiness. So I hope you enjoy it. So with self-leadership, the key is getting clarity about what's important to you in your life, in your work, and in your personal finances. And I think what happens is, if you're not living a life by design, you're living a life to some degree by default. And if you're not taking control, if we're not taking control of our own life, then others tend to take control of it for us, or society tends to sweep us into a certain direction, or we live at life by default at the whims of others. And I don't know if this is the case for you, but in many situations I see, parents go, look, darling, all we want you to do is just finish school and then we'll leave you alone. And then once you finish school, then they go, oh, look, actually, all we want you to do is go and get a university degree or some sort of qualifications, and then we'll leave you alone. And then they go, oh, you've done that now. Oh, look, all we want you to do is get a decent job and then we'll leave you alone. And then it's, oh, you've got a decent job. All we want you to do now is get married and then we'll leave you alone. Then it's having children, and then it's a white picket fence, and then it's more and more and more and more. So the key is to get clear. Clarity creates control. Get clear on what's important to you so that you can drive your own life. You can create a life by design rather than a life by default. And I like to break our life down into 3 key areas, because fundamentally I think what we've been taught in life is that, finish school and then we go to work is the basic model. And then, and over here's work, and we work. And the problem is, if we work too much, what can happen is our life outside work can shrivel up and die. And so therefore, what we find time and time again with many workaholics, if they're working so much, their life outside work, catching up with friends, having hobbies, having interests in life, even investing in relationships, can shrivel up and die. So now they might as well spend all their time over here at work, because that's sometimes where they get their status, recognition and purpose from in life. And the basic model that we're being taught is, let's work really hard so that therefore we can make the money, so that therefore after that then we can enjoy life. So finish school, go to work, make money, and then we can enjoy life. Now fundamentally I believe this model is flawed, because I think it's a much more useful model, and the model I certainly live by is, instead of going from left to right, flip it back the other way and start with looking at, well, what do I want in life? And let's get real clarity about what we want in life within reason. I'm not talking about 3 mansions, 5 boats, but basically, what do we want in life? What would make us happy? What are the fundamental key life priorities? And we're going to look at benchmarking each of these shortly. But let's get clear about what do we want in life, then work out, well, how much is this going to cost us? And then we can go, well, what's the work that would be most fulfilling for me, that would also give me enough money so that I can enjoy my life? So fundamentally, instead of going from left to right with this model, I believe it's much more effective, important, and much more purposeful and fulfilling to to go from right to left. What do I want in my life? How much is that going to cost me? And what sort of work is as fulfilling as I can possibly get that would give me the money so that I could enjoy my life? And I believe that these are the three key pillars of what I call self-leadership. These are the three key pillars of self-responsibility. And it's very much, if we can get clarity on each of these three things, clarity on what do I really want in my life, clarity on how much money do I need to make me reasonably satisfied in life, and clarity on what is the work that's going to make me as fulfilled as I can be within reason. If we can get clarity on those three things, then we can get more control of our life, put ourselves back in the driver's seat. But I would argue that most people on the planet aren't really crystal clear on one of these three things, let alone all three. All right, so welcome back. Hopefully you found that module out of my Life by Design Foundation course useful and interesting. It's just really important to make sure that we get the clarity, because clarity creates control. Getting real clarity around your life, your work, your personal finances is so important. If you want to get more information on that approach, there are some tools within the course. I'll just give you a quick overview where we go through the 7-step process around lifestyle, your life priorities with a downloadable template and worksheet. We look at job fulfillment, the 7-step process, how you can virtually in 10 minutes instantly improve your job fulfillment yourself. Cash flow templates and a guidebook there to help you set up and get more control of your finances on an ongoing basis, and also a key tool on understanding what your key motivational drivers are and what you can do about those. So hopefully you found that this lesson useful. It was more practical, conceptual and philosophical approach, but it's important to then dive down into the tools that will allow you to get real clarity and real control of your life, so you've got more clarity of purpose. So in the next lesson, we'll look at in more detail some of the additional resources and tools that will help you get there. But in the meantime, hopefully you're starting to live more of a life by design rather than a life by default, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.